It's that time again. Men's 400 hurdles final coming at you from Paris. We got the big three up for another matchup. Karsten Warholm, Rai Benjamin, and Alison Dos Santos getting ready to take the track in Stade de France. And it's crazy, right? Because this was the event of the Tokyo Games. I'm sure some of my old-time fans remember that reaction video. I mean, that was just the race of arguably the century. And I think we've just become so used to all-time clashes in this particular event, men's and women's. We had another one in the women's yesterday, and we're in for another one on the men's today. But we've just become so used to that because of the elevated standard of this event. It's similar to what I talked about with the 1500, with what we saw a few days ago in that event. Alison Dos Santos, he got a tough lane draw in 3, so I don't necessarily think he is going to get the gold here. I think a podium finish is very likely for him, knowing what we've seen from him, but it's not as much of a guarantee. I think this is all about Karsten versus Rai. You can't count out Clément Ducos, the Frenchman. He's been looking good through the rounds. If I'm going to make a prediction, I'm going to say Rai Benjamin. Karen McMaster, reigning world championship silver medalist, can't be counted out, but if we're looking at the heavy hitters for gold, I think this is Rai Benjamin's year. The Prefontaine Classic, when he finally beat Karsten, of course he beat him at the 2022 Worlds when Warholm was injured, but Rai has had the momentum ever since. Karsten, he's been consistent. He's run several 46s this season, not several, but he's run multiple 46s mid this season. But I just feel like Rai has the higher ceiling at this stage of his career. I don't see this being another sub-46 night for Warholm. And quite frankly, I don't foresee it being the winning time at all. I think it's going to be Rai Benjamin in something like a 46-2. It was a bit rainy earlier on in the night, so we'll see how that affects the conditions on the track. Obviously, for the hurdles, you would expect that to play some sort of factor. We'll see. It's going to be a good one. Benjamin is in 8, and Warholm is in 7. Typically, we find Benjamin draw the inside lane, at least ever since Doha 2019, when you pit those two against one another. Warholm loves lane number 7, but he runs better, he says, when he's on the outside, which is why he always picks it in Diamond League races. So we'll see what he's got in him. I think he's going to break 46.5 if he executes properly. If you recall, he also lost a race to Dos Santos earlier this season, but he hit the last barrier and still ran right around where his first world record was, 46.70. But again, Rai Benjamin, he's just looked so good this year. Ever since that 46.4, he ran another 46.4, I believe, at trials. 46.17, even Dos Santos is 46.29. Those are just such historic marks that are going to be tough to beat. This is going to be about pride and Olympic gold on the line. If Warholm wins, he is, like Sidney McLaughlin, he is going to achieve undisputed GOAT status in the event. He looks nervous. Nerves are natural when you're on the line, no matter who you are. I just love Karsten's entrance, but Rai looks calm, cool, and collected. He's been a real leader for Team USA, too, with all the controversies, the relay politics, the guys putting their pride on the line. Rai Benjamin has always been a uniting force for Team USA, and it's time for him to lay it all out on the line. Karsten's going to go out hard. Rai can't do what Femke Bol did when Sidney McLaughlin came up hard, and that's panic and try and match that move. Looked like McMaster got a better reaction to the gun than Warholm, but Karsten is already eaten up about a meter on Rai Benjamin. Rai, with his long stride, is going to make up that ground on the backstretch. He looks very comfortable with only Jamaica's Roshan Clark on his outside. McMaster starting to lose some ground. Warholm, this is where he asserts himself, but will he have the strength to finish? I think Benjamin is in a great position right now, and here the race is starting to materialize. Rai Benjamin will lead off the turn for the first time ever over Karsten Warholm. This is it, Rai. Karsten's going to finish. He's going to give you everything he's got, but it is just not enough this time. Dos Santos is rallying for silver, but at last, it is Rai Benjamin for the gold. 46.47, the unofficial winning time, and Rai Benjamin, after all the years of being the silver bullet, can finally claim the gold he deserves. It wasn't Karsten Warholm's night. It was Rai Benjamin's night. Otto Bolden really just made a Kendrick reference. Rai needed this so bad, man. I love Karsten. I love Alison. I love all three of them. But Rai Benjamin deserved this. I knew it coming into this season that this was going to be his year. Karsten Warholm had been his kryptonite all up until that Prefontaine Classic. This was a real tone-setting win, and perhaps a sign of things to come. Rai is younger than Karsten. He's got more years ahead of him, and he's only getting better and more consistent. I was maybe a little bit overzealous sometimes. Again, it's a wet track, so to run 46-47 right around the time that he ran at trials is still spectacular. He's relishing the moment right now. This is huge for Rai Benjamin. And I think he knew he won it once he reached the home straightaway, because Karsten really tried to attack those last few barriers like we always see him do, but he just didn't have what he usually does to hold off guys like Benjamin. Dos Santos had a great finish. No surprise as to who made it on the podium, and it's Rai Benjamin's time, baby. Let me know what you guys think down below. If there's any post-race immediate remarks that I missed that you would like to point out for me, go ahead and drop them down below. Subscribe for more content. And let me know also if you think Rai Benjamin should run anchor the 4x4. I think it's no question that he should, but let me know what you guys think, because it is only tomorrow, and he's been through quite a lot in these past few days. Congrats to Rai, Team USA, minus the 4x1. One more day of these Olympics, baby. Peace.